Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Hey folks, welcome back to the Ages of Rock podcast. I'm here with Bill, Alan, and myself. This is episode 284, and tonight we're going to talk about an album that was put out about 48, actually a little over 47 years ago, because I think it was last week one day, but it's Kisses Hotter Than Hell. So we'll have a lot to talk about that here in a little bit. But beforehand, we'll of course do our acquisitions and just talk about news in general and this if something happened. And how'd your gig go this weekend, Alan? I saw you played.
How expensive was it?
It went really, really well. It cost me $173.
How did it cost you money? You're supposed to make money when you play.
Well, you didn't make any money.
Well, the money that I made plus a little bit more went to the Breckinridge County District Court because I got a speeding ticket on the way home.
Yeah, I never got a speeding ticket on the way home from a gig. Or
normally when I come home or I drive to gigs, especially long distances, I use my cruise control.
Right.
But it had been raining and I don't use cruise control on wet surfaces.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I usually use my cruise control too, and it's always set at not the speed limit, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had a gig one time where I lost money before I got there. Same deal. We were playing in Odin, up at the Odin Tavern, and on the way up, Alan was with me, not your my Alan, and we had a valve stem on my trailer wheel went out on us. Had a flat, no spare. So we had to call one of those repair trucks to come and do that there. $180 to get that tire. About a $3 valve stem.
I don't doubt that
so
one bit.
Next gig, I had a spare tire. Plus, I got both tires I got a new valve stem put in it. So yeah, those things, it kind of sets the mood for the night when you got yours on the way home. So at least you got that far, but yeah, on the way there.
I had passengers with me. I think that's probably the only reason that he didn't make me get out and try to do the breathalyzer and say the alphabet backwards and pull your pud while you're rubbing your noggin, all of that stupid shit. But what was funny is he said, because I told him, I'm like, we just came from a gig in Harnett, Kentucky, and told him where it was at and everything. And he said, y'all been drinking? I said, nope.
You can't drink and play the bass. What's wrong with you?
What kind of music do you guys play? Do you play both kinds, country and Western?
That would have been funny. No, that dude was not very friendly at all.
Could have said, I hear banjos.
He said 3 sentences to me. I pulled you over because you were doing 70. Have you been drinking? And I wrote you a citation. And nothing. Didn't try to make any conversation at all. I was like, dude, you need to get laid.
at least go crank one up. I don't know.
Something. Yeah, but I mean, it was in rural Kentucky, and it was pitch black outside, and he was sitting on the other side of the road, so I'm coming down the hill, and the blue lights is just sitting across the street. Bam! I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you're done.
And of course, the people that were with me, of course, my good friend Justin, the rhythm guitar player in the band, just immediately started laughing.
Fuck you.
Walk back home, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? Guess what, boys? It's $40 a person, or you ain't getting home.
Well, that's when if he laughed at you, you go, no, we haven't been drinking, but you need to check my buddy back here. I think he's got a bag of weed on him. If he did,
could be possible.
Get the dog to be sniffing his crotch and shit.
Exactly.
When you do something stupid like that, then they're like, "Oh, probable cause. I'm searching your car and your trailer."
Exactly. No, I'm just. All righty. Well, that's not good.
Now that we veered off topic before we even started.
No, it's not off topic. It's things that happen. Go ahead.
Nothing.
No, any news this week? You guys want to talk about anything going on? Anything?
Wolfgang Van Halen hurt himself.
He did. He took a
break a leg.
He bruised his ankle and swollen it, but they did finish up the tour. He had to do one show or 2 shows, I guess, sitting in the chair.
I just saw a picture of him with the cast on his leg.
Yeah, I just know he was doing a show from a stool.
Right. I saw that the bass player he posted said they did 40,000 miles, and I forgot how many dates and stuff like that. They just finished that tour with Guns N' Roses, I guess.
Too bad he didn't get Dave Grohl's big broken leg.
I know.
Thrown. That would have been, of course, that was bigger than the stages they've been playing.
Yeah,
I don't think it'd fit.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was definitely built for an arena.
Exactly. But
that chair or stadium.
No, and then of course I forgot what he texted, but it was really, or he tweeted that day when he did it, something about 8 ass or 8 asphalt or some kind of shit. He come off
asphalt,
the bus, and he banged himself. But he's a good story. And and that's like I said, I was gonna say something earlier. These people on that message him all the time and post these trolls on here that post his stuff on these websites. Dude, you got to get a life. All these guys have got to get a life. I mean, the dude is out there playing his ass off. He's put one of the best records out, #1 this year, and for me, for many years, this is a great album. They bitch about it. Well, you're not playing your Wolfgang guitar. He does play the Wolfgang guitar. He does on 1 or 2 songs, but he's a 335 guy. He likes that semi-hollow. And if you don't think they rock, ask Dave Grohl. I've got one of those. Those guitars will rock. He's using a EVH amp. He's using all of his dad's pedals. He just doesn't want to play any Van Halen. You guys have got to get it through your thick skull that Van Halen is never going to reunite. It's done. It's never going to happen.
Eventually they will.
I don't think so. No, because David's retiring.
I understand what I'm saying. Eventually they will.
Maybe.
The Beatles
are going to say stuff like that. The
Beatles are halfway to their reunion.
Right. But you know what I'm saying is right now he's on a high on this new album he's putting out. Just lost his dad. He's doing. It's like give the kid a break. The thing is, I don't want to hear
hundreds of times these people say this shit because there's no consequence for it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you none of them would say it to his face because
nobody get. And you know what? He didn't care.
Mouth.
No, he don't.
I'm
care.
sure he doesn't care.
But
you know what happens is people like Dennis gives those people airtime on this show.
Well, but he even put out a tweet the other day saying, you know what, you guys have really made this. It's got to the point where it's
as fun.
It's not as fun. It's weighing on me a lot, and I'm glad once this tour is over, I'm taking a break from social media. I don't even want to dick with you bastards. I'm done with you guys. And hopefully now he'll go in, dig down, and do some new music. Like I said, it's just give the kid a break. I mean, he's out there tearing it up, doing great shows every night. He's not going to play Panama. He's not going to play Van Halen. And the thing is, I don't want to hear Wolfgang Van Halen playing Van Halen songs. I don't even want to hear
David Lee Roth playing Van Halen.
It's just like when I go see Ace Frehley. I don't want to see Ace Frehley playing Kiss songs that he had nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? Ace has got a great repertoire of songs. He's got stuff over solo album. Play some of that shit. I don't want to hear 3 or 4 Kiss songs in that set when you've got all this good material. It's just, I don't know. It just irks me. So now here I am becoming a troll to Ace Frehley. I'm like, dude, I know.
Alan, can you add a little pot calling the kettle black thing right there? Because
no, I'm not typing it. I'm saying it. And guess what? Nobody listens. Nobody listens to this show, so nobody's going to hear it.
12 people that are going to see this over 4 years' time.
But anyway, no, I'm glad to see he got through it.
That's not true.
But isn't he going out now with the Scorpions later on?
When they go to Europe, yes.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to take the rest of this band because. See, now the other thing was Frank.
Why wouldn't he take the rest of his band?
Well, Frank, who was playing guitar with him, him and his wife were in a car crash. They've been playing without him for the last 6 shows, I guess, or what it is, or something. He was in a car crash. He come out okay, but his wife got banged up really bad, so he stopped touring to be with her. So they've been playing as a 4-piece. So the guy playing the SG that we saw in Louisville, he hasn't been playing with him.
Guy in the back corner.
No, that he's been the guy in front. Now he plays with the Conspirators with Slash. And now they're getting ready to hit go on tour.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's gonna be playing with those.
But not till February or something.
Well, that's about the time I think when the Scorpions thing starts. So he
Oh.
may not be playing, and these other guys are actually in other bands also. So I don't know what's going to happen when they go with the Scorpions. You know, I'd be curious to see how that works.
He's just gonna go solo acoustic.
Yes, and do Panama every concert.
Oh, speaking of Panama, one thing Wolfie did do that I thought was funny is on one of those shows he printed out a set list that just had Panama 15 times.
That is funny. Oh, he's got a great sense of humor.
Well, you have to have a great sense of humor, you know, because you know, and I'm sure his dad and the rest of the family warned him that the public are assholes.
Well, he knows because he was on social media, I'm sure, before watching people do that stuff.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
No,
I mean, he did a whole tour with Van Halen. I mean, I'm sure he's had it thrown at him, you know, filling Michael Anthony's shoes. I'm sure he got tons of shit, you know. I'm sure he got all kinds of shit for that, you know. So anyway,
I'm sure he did.
So speaking of Dave Grohl,
yes, Bill, do you have yours, or did you bring yours?
No, because you went to get yours.
Okay, well, anyway,
and my book looks just like your book.
It looks just like your book. So Bill and I we picked up the Dave Grohl, the storyteller tells of life and music, and I don't think either of us has cracked it open yet, right?
Yeah, no, I've read like the first 4 chapters.
Okay, so I'm behind. Okay, so I'm behind. I'm going to try to actually this week. It's cold outside. It's nasty, and it's supposed to be really shitty. So I can't really. Time I get home, it's dark and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading this. Hopefully this week. I'll probably finish before the next show.
I will not finish before the next.
I can looking at the. I mean, it's not.
I last longer than that typically.
Not me. I'm in and out. Boom, I'm gone. That's what she said.
Slow burn.
Right. But anyway, I've been wanting to read this really bad. And I guess Bill and I helped put him on the number one selling bestseller list.
Yeah, probably.
Did you get yours through Amazon?
Yep. I'm the one that told you about that.
Yeah, but I didn't get it as cheap as you did. What did you get yours for?
$20.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you said at one time it was like 12 or they had a special deal.
No. Okay. $19.95.
That's what I paid. So yeah, with that tax, it was right at $21 or something like that. But no, it's a nice book. I don't like the texture of your cover. It's got a texture to it, and I'm sensitive about that.
You can go ahead and in your mind exactly hear his words.
Fuck you.
Thank you for your
don't give a fuck. Yeah, thank you for buying it. Enjoy the book. Just put your gloves on, you pansy.
Well, you'd be surprised. You know, of course, I work in a library, and I used to catalog fiction books. A lot of those books have that texture that you dislike.
Yeah, I'll actually probably what I'll do, because I'm going to be reading it, I'll take it off anyway while I'm reading it. I'll put it away so it don't get tore up, and then I'll read it.
I use it as a bookmark till I get done.
Oh, you do that? Yeah, I've been the page in half. No.
It's your book. You can do with it what you want.
No,
I had to spit in one corner.
I take a Sharpie and I color the whole top of the page. That way I know.
I write my name on the front of the book too, like albums. Like so when somebody borrows it from me 25 years later, 40 years later, 40 years later, some bastard can give me my album back.
So anyway, I'm really looking forward to reading this. I've heard a couple things off Howard Stern that he was talking about some of the chapters in the book about an old girlfriend or something, and everything. His stories are just. I'd love to just sit. I'd pay to actually just have him read this book to me. You know what I'm saying? Or
I'm sure you can do that.
Well, I'm going to look and see if it's an audiobook format, because I don't know how to read it.
And if it is with his voice on it, let me know, because I might buy that too, and that way I can listen to it in the car. You know,
why don't you listen to it while you're reading it, and that way
that's cool. It'd be like he's reading it.
He's reading it too.
There you go. That'd be kind of cool.
Whatever.
All right. So anyway, that's enough, Dave. I did not get any albums this week. I actually went yesterday to where did I go? Oh, I went to Walmart, and I sent you guys a picture. You both are yawning. What's going on?
I was yawning, and Bill was mocking me.
So I did send it. So Walmart, you know how they run these specials on all their, or not specials, but these, you know, only through Walmart kind of situations. Well, another Love Gun, I tried to get. Well, they got 2 of them over at the Walmart again in the splatter orange. The Metallicas that were real hard to get. Now they have almost all of them over the Black Album, the Ride of the Lightning's there. They actually, the Black Album, they had almost 4. I had 4 copies of that, I think.
They have a lot of Iron Maiden stuff there too.
They had 0 Iron Maiden when I was there.
Ours up here have like each one of them has like 4 or 5 different ones.
They did have they had a Beatles thing that was a kind of a anthology
multi thing.
Yeah, it was like $40, but it looked pretty good. I almost bought. They had Rubber Soul and what was the other one? Anyway, they were 2 older albums, but kind of in that
older albums.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Not the the
actually they're not old. They're brand new because they just got
exactly.
made, so.
They were no, it had Rubber Soul and then what's the other one? But anyway, Revolver. I almost bought Revolver because I don't have that one, and because that's getting in the kind where the stage of the Beatles little drug experimentation. They got rid of the pop shit. I like the weird stuff. But anyway, I didn't. I had one in the cart and I stopped. It was $20 and I should have went ahead and got it, but I didn't. So
$20, dude, you paid like $40 for shit before. You want to pay $20 for a Beatles album?
They did have an Abbey Road, which I bought. I've already got that. And what else did they have there? It was kind of interesting. But anyway, they had Walmart had a pretty good selection of albums.
I bought one from there too.
What'd you get?
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm done. I don't have anything. So what'd you get this week, Bill?
You wouldn't like it anyway.
I don't care.
So when I was in Nashville 2 weeks ago, or whatever. Yeah, I went to
that was a mystery trip. Where did
that a mystery trip?
Yeah, all of a sudden you just like texted us. You're
Nashville. Hey, what's going on? So our plan was we did the Bourbon Trail. We were going to go to Bardstown, Kentucky, do the Bourbon Trail. We went to Bardstown, Kentucky. You have to have like reservations to do tastings and stuff like that. Like apparently you have to either have a firstborn child that you're willing to give up or not kidding. Or you have to make them like months and months or a year in advance. No kidding. So,
that's big.
We went down there just to see if we could get a tasting or whatever. We walked into Four Roses and got one there. And then we went to 2 other places, couldn't even get close to getting anything. Wow. So what our plan was is to go to Bardstown, Kentucky, do some things there, and then come back to Louisville and then hang out at Louisville in the evening and then get up the next morning and do the Louisville, distilleries that are down there in downtown Louisville.
Sure.
We were done in Bardstown at like 3:00. And so we were like, we're going to drive back to Louisville and not do anything tonight because there's nothing going on.
Sure.
And tomorrow we're going to get up and do the same thing we did today and not be able to do any tastings or anything. Right. So that's a bad idea. So we decided we'd go to Nashville because we were already halfway there anyway. So we went to Nashville. On the way down there, I'm trolling around on my phone. Hey, what's going on? Try to go to the Bluebird Cafe to see if we could get something there and go to one of the songwriter things and couldn't figure it out. And then I'm looking, it says, hey, I got this ad for Bowie's, which is a rock bar in Nashville. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Didn't know it existed. 2 blocks off Broadway, something like that. And like, that's pretty cool. And then I see that they're having this book signing thing, or they had a book signing thing by Mark Weiss, who's a photographer that does a lot of 80s metal or metal bands. Yeah. Then I see Anthony Corder's going to be there. I'm like, duh, cool. I'll go see Anthony. So we get there, and it ended up being. So it was a party after Mark's book signing. Mark's book signing was somewhere else, but it was Jake Lee and the something or others, and this dude. It was metal. When we walked in, when the guy walked out, there was nobody on the stage, and the guy walked out and got on stage. He had to be 6'9". He was huge. He was a very, very tall man. White hair. His face was painted gray. He had all this really dark gray, and I'm like, you guys. I was with Lisa and my buddy Jay and his wife Michelle. And I looked at them. The other guys came out. The drummer came out. He had his face like a mask painted on there and stuff like that. And I said, "You guys are going to freaking hate me."
I'm going to be smiling, but you're going to hate me.
Like these guys are just going to rip it, and it's going to be a freaking mess. I'm like, how is Anthony Corder going to play into this? So they ended up playing. I thought they were actually really good. And they played about halfway through, a little bit, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever.
Right.
And then they had Anthony came up, and because he's a friend of Mark's, and did a Kiss song. They did Detroit Rock City. And then I thought Anthony was going to stay up there because they were talking about walking shoes and stuff like that, which that's my favorite Tora Tora song. And I thought that'll be really cool. And Anthony left, like literally left, like
wow,
done, got to go by.
You didn't get a chance to wave at him or?
Oh, I talked to him.
Oh,
I talked to him, waved
okay,
at, oh yeah, before, whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I walked in there, I said, Anthony, what's going on? He goes, what the hell are you doing here? I said, there's other people with me asking me the same question.
So when he was done, though, he was out. He
was out.
Okay.
So come to find out, so then the tall guy, lead guitar player, lead singer guy from that band calls this other guy up, but actually is his dad, which is the current bass player for Bon Jovi.
Really? Oh, cool.
He knows them because he lives down the street from Mark Weiss. They were buddies when they were little. So it was kind of cool. And so they had a little thing, and they played a Led Zeppelin song. It was actually, it's like a son and a dad that are both musicians up there going, what do you want to play? 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 Can you play this? I don't know. I've never played this. I'm like, you guys have never played together before, ever? So they ended up playing a Led Zeppelin song. And it was funny because the son said, hey, follow me. Which is really funny. That's the bass player for Bon Jovi. Probably already knows it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun. It was cool. And then they did a Marilyn Manson song and a Rob Zombie song to end their set. And then as soon as they ended, I was like, let's get the hell out of here, because I didn't know who else was coming on next. And yeah, we wanted to go. So we went back to a country bar and hung out there for a while, listened to some twang wanging and whatever stuff. Right as the Predators game was over. And the place, everything
blew up,
packed. It's like, we walked in one place, walked in the stage, walked out. We didn't even stay. Couldn't even get the foot in the door.
So this place you're talking about, Bowie's, you say it's 2 blocks off. Is it north or south of Broadway? And about where at?
It's actually west of Broadway. Didn't Broadway run north and south?
Broadway runs east and west.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, Broadway
on the same side. Whatever it is, it's on the same side of the street as Tootsie's and the stage.
Okay, that's
and
the north.
Stuff.
That's the north side. So you're going north. So, but where was it? Right on the block of Tootsie's in, or was it?
No. It's down. You got to go. It's like the address is 100 something 3rd Street. So it's
okay.
So you got to go down a couple blocks. It's really cool.
Not down there not down where the roads tore up, where that AT&T place blew up. It's probably
no. It's not that far. That's
not
First Street.
Far. That's First Street. So 2 blocks up from there.
Yeah, it's not very far. So actually, if you go out of Old Bull, whatever. God damn it, what's it called? Old Roy's, whatever.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. When you go out of there and you just walk down the street, and it's down there. Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty cool, and it's definitely a rock bar. I mean, trust me, when we were in there, it went from like 6 people in there to where it was ladies' night, and all of a sudden it was all these gothy chicks and people dressed in black.
I wonder if they're open during the day like these other bars. I mean, where they have like actual.
I don't think so. I think it's just kind of they're just
nightclub.
It's definitely a nightclub, and
gotcha.
I don't think you could pull that off during the day.
Yeah,
I think it'd be kind of weird.
Something to do next time I'm down.
Yeah,
there.
it was cool, and they were
the
band we saw was good. I'd go. I mean, I thought they were pretty good.
You have to check that out.
That was kind of fun.
Awesome.
But I reached out to Mark a couple times. I found out something bounced back. His email bounced back. I texted him. He may just give me wrong information, so I don't call him. I don't know. But I talked to him, and he was really nice. He was like, told him who I was. He goes, yeah, man, I'd love to be on your show. Yeah, or not.
Yeah. I've heard of him. I mean, he took he's a well-known photographer.
Yeah, I said Dennis Talbot is part of our group. He's like, okay, here, let me give you my information.
Here, let me give you
that's why
let me give you this card.
That's not even right.
Let me give you
the right his own
card.
name wrong so that we couldn't find him. I don't know. I friended him on Facebook, whatever. All right, but I did when we were down there on the way back, we stopped at the little record shop that was in damn it, Goodlettsville. That's it.
Okay, Goodlettsville.
So I picked up. This is one of the things that's been on my list, my bucket list.
Right.
I got an OG copy of Queensryche Operation Mindcrime.
Cool.
So, but this is the guy bought like a bunch of records from somebody that said that their dad had passed and they had all these records. Well, he had like 6 unopened records. This was one of them that had been unopened.
Wow. Oh, no
So
shit.
the guy that owned the shop opened them because he's like, they've been sitting around and he wanted to make sure that they were,
Make sure they weren't. Yeah,
they were, and this is warped, but you can play it and it looks warped, but it doesn't sound warped at all.
Right.
So it was $24, dude.
Wow.
And you can't find this for $85. So $24, a little warped. It's not a problem. So I picked that up. It was brand new, basically. I got Kicks in Excess.
Oh, that's a great album.
I've been looking for that. I've been looking for a good copy. Everyone I find looks like it went through a cheese grater.
Right.
And this is pretty cool because I'm a Headpins fan. I don't know if you guys remember the Headpins from Canada.
I've got a
Darby,
album.
Darby Mills. Yep.
This
is their first. Oh, you can't. It's in the plastic here. This is their first.
Cool.
Promo record.
Wow.
So it's called Turn It Loud. It's got 8 songs on it, and really cool. I was very happy to get this. $4.
Wow.
It's probably only not worth much anyway. But
I've got the one where it's got the band on the front, and actually, I've seen that album 3 or 4 times at other stores. You find it around actually.
Yeah, I have. I think I have. This is the 3rd album of theirs I have. And then I went to Walmart the other day and was, traipsing around there, and I found this. You guys go to this. I know you won't care about this, but I'm a Martina McBride fan. Have been for a long time.
Right.
So this is a greatest hits thing called the RCA years, which has got like, I think it's got like 24 songs on it or something like that. So
one
it's
album,
pretty cool.
It's a double album, or what?
It's a double album. Yeah, it's got and it's and it's, as you were talking about the Walmart specials. It is blue.
Oh, I know they do a lot of colored stuff. I like that too.
So it's pretty cool.
I think it's cool. Awesome.
It's a really good picture, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. What? Talk a little louder so Lisa can hear.
Okay, so there you go.
Cool. So no other albums or anything?
Nope, I just got this one sitting here. We're going to talk about it
right now. I got that too. But not yet, because I do want to bring up the fact of that this program will be coming out on Saturday. I'm so sorry, on Thursday. I got it written down here, and I'm just looking at it going.
How long have we been doing this show?
All right. Well, we're going to tell you. So what a great segue. So anyway, when this comes out on Thursday, it'll be a couple days later, actually on October 30th, which is on Saturday. That's our 6th year anniversary of this show hitting the air. So there you go. 6 years we've been boring your fucking asses off.
Idiots.
It's like, when are they going to stop?
I cannot believe I put up with this shit for 6 years.
They stop.
You know what? We have to end though. I'll tell you why. Okay.
Right.
This is my big book. So I have kept this little book for every show that we have
cool is that?
done with notes. Now I probably missed a couple in here.
With a lot of misinformation.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds
of misinformation.
It's not historical data we're ever going to use. It's just my notes.
Full of lies.
I write down, go listen to this record, and then I go, I don't even know what the hell that is. I can't remember. Anyway, so there's a lot of that stuff. But dudes, we're like,
we need to put that on eBay. I bet you
this
get 50
is
cents
all
for
we
that.
got left.
You just buy a new
We
book.
won't make it a year.
Well, I'll get you one for Christmas. I'll send you one for Christmas.
So
another
is that a
handy-dandy
Jeff Gordon notebook?
It is a Jeff Gordon notebook. It's my
Barely.
Jeff Gordon notebook.
It's been so long, Jeff Gordon doesn't even fucking drive anymore.
He's gave up. Actually, I don't think any of them actually drive anymore. They just
I got
whine,
my
bitch,
AJ
and cry.
Foyt notebook here.
It's like, I got me a Dale Earnhardt notebook.
Dale Earnhardt. Yeah. Okay. Well, you want to talk Kiss now? Alan, you got anything other than your ticket you want to talk about?
I got a ticket Saturday. Actually,
that ticket.
No,
I don't really.
All right.
Hey, but before we get started, though, Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators though are coming to Nashville.
I saw
you
that.
see that? I want to go to that. I'm going to try to figure out how to go to one of those shows.
I am probably going to go to the show. My friend Mike wants to go, but he always cons me into buying the tickets. And I told him if you wanted to go, he had to buy the tickets this time.
It's in what, March?
March 16th. It's a Wednesday.
And it's on a
I'm trying to figure out
Wednesday,
if it's going to be like spring break.
Hmm.
That might be a problem.
See, I have to take the day on. I have to take a half day of the show, and then a half day after the show or a day. So I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, I want to see those guys before.
I do want to see that. I think that would be a great show. I love Miles Kennedy. I think it's awesome.
And the Kiss Cruise is this weekend, right?
You got Brent in there. You got Todd.
This weekend.
Todd's in that. You got Frank in that show, in that bunch. That's a great band. Okay. Yep. We're going to talk Hotter Than Hell.
Hot.
The one I have actually is the 180 gram. It's a repressing. I don't know if it's the we call it the remastered or not.
I think that's what I have too. I bought this, but I don't know where it came from.
Okay, well, I got an interesting story about that. But anyway, Hotter Than Hell is a second studio album by American hard rock band Kiss. It was released on October 22nd, 1974. It was certified gold on June 23rd, 77, having shipped 500,000 copies. The album was re-released in 97 as a remastered version. It peaked on Billboard's charts at number 100 without the benefit of a hit single. Of course, the live staples for the band, Parasite, Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go, Rock and Roll, and Watching You were involved with this, like the first album.
Don't forget Got to Choose.
Yeah, and Got to Choose. Yeah, and Got to Choose. That's I'm just I'm reading this bullshit.
Let Me Go, Rock and Roll.
And the thing is too, also in 76, it was also re-released in 76 along with the originals.
Now I have a copy of the originals, and it looks like it went through the same cheese grater that Bill always references.
Well, I've got two, and actually I thought I had a complete, and I don't. There was a fucking Kiss Army sticker in this thing, and I don't have that. I've got the 6 cards, the booklet, but I don't have the Kiss Army sticker, so I do not have a complete.
That is worth originals. Absolutely nothing now.
And I don't give a shit because I'm not gonna get the sticker. Shit. Interesting fact about Hotter Than Hell, I never owned this album until I bought this album. Never had a cassette, never had an 8-track. I never bought this album as a kid. This is one because when the originals came out, I was going to get that, and I never got the originals. And then I got to looking at the album at the store all the time. And I'm like going, well, hell, half these songs are already on Alive. So, when you're a kid and you got to spend your $5 or $5.50 or $6, you make wise choices. So this was an album that I just never bought. So it wasn't up until the last couple of years. Well, I got the originals. Kelly got me that 2 years ago. I maybe bought this one here. So yeah, it's been up until now. I mean, I went that long without actually never owning this album.
Well, here's my useless trivia about the Hotter Than Hell album.
Right.
I got it in 1987 when I got my first car, and it had an 8-track player in it. Right. But my mom had taken me to the Salvation Army for something, and I found that for 50 cents. Wow. So I had to borrow 53 cents from my mom because I had to pay the tax. So I had Hotter Than Hell on 8-track, and I wore that thing out. And then one day I left it sitting on the dashboard, and it got all warped and hot from sitting in the direct sun.
Really see you later. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's kind of funny you say that, because I think I can't figure out where this came from either, because it's in the shrink even. So I don't.
Do you have the sticker like mine does?
No.
The auto file?
No, you're the only dude that goes out and buys everything like brand new, because you 180 gram, because you can't like buy an OG.
Well, I never bought. I never bought.
Well, I don't think I remember getting this, and I was really excited about getting it. I don't know if somebody gave it to me or what, but
you didn't have it as a kid then.
No, I never had this as a kid until.
So you're like me.
Recently.
You just waited till right.
Right.
And the thing was, I didn't. I remember when
I had the cassette. I had the I had the originals, but I didn't have.
So you had the album though, because I honestly had never
didn't have the album as a lone record. I had the album.
See, I never had it at any point up until this week. So basically, for me, coming home, I remember when I first heard that at the Kiss conventions. I'm like, "What is that song?" I honestly didn't know that song. I just like, that's new to me. That's kind of cool. I mean, I heard Strange Ways, I know somehow, and Mainline I had heard maybe on the internet or something, but Coming Home, to me, that was like a brand new song. I mean, it's kind of weird to think about it.
Well,
and here it is in 95, 96. It's a new song for me.
The funny thing about that is that song, of course, we'll get to that. Coming
Right.
Home never stood out to me
Right.
until MTV Unplugged.
Right.
You know.
Okay, so let's go through this real quick. Track listings. Number 1, side 1, Got to Choose, Parasite, Going Blind, Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go Rock and Roll. Those were all fairly. Number 3, Going Blind, was actually co-wrote by Stephen Cornell, so that's interesting. So that was a leftover.
That was a strutter. I mean, a strutter.
It was a
Never
Wicked Lester
mind.
left over.
Yeah. Lester. All right. So side 2 started out with All the Way, Watching You, Mainline, which was a Stanley written song, but gave it to Peter, and that's kind of it's happened before.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, no shit. And then Coming Home, which is a Fraley co-write. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. And Strange Ways, which was a Fraley write, and then a Peter Criss singing it also. Interesting here too. Ace Frehley played lead guitar and bass on Parasite.
You know, I can always kind of tell when Ace Frehley has played bass on something because it always follows the rhythm.
Right. It's
well,
not
I won't say that it always will, but it almost
Sure.
always does. You
Right.
know, one of the exceptions being Hard Times, where it's where it follows the rhythm, but it's opposite of it, if that makes any sense.
And as a kid, I always thought that was a tit. Paul Stanley's arm, the way that he's grabbing him by the arm, it looks like a tit. I'm sorry. It looks
Pulling
like
that
a
titty
boob.
way up here.
And then I don't know what the hell Paul's doing with this little reach around on Peter, but that's just not right. It's gonna.
You spend way too much time looking at this shit. I didn't even see that.
You do now. I just pointed it out.
I'm trying to get it out of my head.
I know.
It's
reach around Paul.
It's kind of a shitty. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
It is shitty.
Well,
of course, there was the infamous.
Wasn't that the photo shoot where Paul got so drunk that they locked him in the car?
They locked him in the car. This was the infamous shoot where everybody got trashed, and there's all kinds of photos from the outtakes from that. Yeah, Paul was just blasted, hammered. So anyway,
some of those outtake photos are better than what ended up on the album cover.
They actually are. So, all right. So that's all I got as far as the album and my things that were going on. You know, my thoughts and stuff that I had about it. I haven't listened to this 180 grams, so I don't know what it sounds like. I'm hoping
it sounds like a muddy production, just like the rest of them.
Because I listened to it today and I got home too late. I didn't have a chance to fire my stereo up, which I did fix my stereo.
Would you have gerbils in there, or what do you have to do?
My Pioneer radio that I bought, I got an SX 750 or 780 from the 70s, and I got my turntable hooked up to it, my turntable hooked up to it, and I kept getting an issue where it would the RCA plug, it would make this sound, and you had to kind of jiggle it a little bit, and it would stop. But anytime you touch the cable, it would make this loud shorting out sound.
I was gonna say, sound like it had short in it.
Well, so I took it over to this place called Quest 4 on Morgan, and the guy retired who works on them. So he sent me to this guy over at a number, and I called the number over to this other guy who works on these things. And the first thing he said was, is your thing grounded? And I said, no, it doesn't have a ground wire like the old ones do. It's just got a thing. He goes, well, it has to be grounded on that old Pioneer. It will not work without being grounded. He goes, it won't work. I said, dude, it's just not a cheap turntable. This is a $400 turntable.
Still got to be grounded.
He goes, I'm telling you, you have to have it grounded. Went to U-Turn's website. They say that the grounding comes from the left side RCA outer shielding. That's where the ground comes in on the news. So I'm like, I don't know. So I didn't take it over to him because they're going to charge me $50 to look at it. So anyway, I put the wires into it. So as soon as I moved it, I took 3 strands of speaker wire and I twisted them up. I put it on the ground and then took the RCA plug out and put it on the outer, the 3 blades on the outer thing, and wrapped it around there and stuck it in. So bitch, you can't make that sound for nothing now. So it needs to be grounded. So if you've got a U-turn turntable and an old receiver, ground that bitch.
if you have a turntable, period.
Right. But with the newer ones, somehow it works with my Yamaha. I've never had that issue. This is with the older things. Anyway, that was off track, but maybe that'll help somebody. Maybe save me $50.
No charge for that.
But I want to see because I listened to it today on Spotify on my earbuds or my pods or whatever for my ears, and it was it's the worst drum sound I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, oh my God. So let's talk about this. Are you going to go song by song? How you want to do this?
Works for me.
All right, let's go.
Hey, Dennis,
Okay.
let me see the back of your album.
Okay.
That's the front. No, it's not. It's the back.
That's the back.
Pull it down. Pull it down. 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 Oh.
What?
Okay, that's what's weird. So mine, this one has this looks funny to me. Like this must be.
Yeah. So you got
yours is in the
UPC,
corner.
UPC
It's in the
code.
middle. BNLP 7006. I have to figure out. This must be like a Ronco product or something.
What is your code? What's your here? Let me see.
Well, that's the code. The code is
what's your code on the side?
I can't read.
Mine's still in the plastic. I know. Mine's still.
Yeah, we're ruining our.
You got these three old guys that wear bifocals and trifocals, and can't none of us see them.
See, mine's actually got that real nice plastic insert too. That like the
end.
sleeve.
The end says 8. The edge says 824147-1.
See, mine says BOO20069-01. 69. So mine's better than yours.
I have to look that up. See what.
See, mine came with this too. I got this off Amazon. That's where I got mine, but it's got one of those nice plastic instead of the paper sleeves for your thing. It's got the clear and then the nice foam thing. So
no, I got a paper sleeve that's brown that says Casablanca on it because that's what I'd want.
Yeah, no, mine's
the OG.
Mine's a newer. Mine's anyway. Okay, here we go.
This is going to taking us an hour to get to this.
We're one of those people now. We got two different versions, so now you got to get this version because it's got a
different. I'm not. No, nope,
and the red's a little red, and the red's a little redder than what yours is. It's gonna.
I didn't have them, bro.
Okay. All right. Side 1, song 1. Got to choose. What do you think, guys?
This is my favorite Kiss album, so there's not a stinker on here for me.
Yeah, I think for me it was kind of interesting when I listened to this whole record today, because I had listened to most of it today anyway, because I've heard them about 1,000 times, right?
Right.
It was like that's a really good record. Like the whole record is really good, and I never really kind of put that in. I think that's a great opening, though. Great opener. Right. I like that opener.
Yeah, I love Got to Choose. I mean, that's like I said, it's been one of their staple songs. It's for years. I just think it's I like the guitar work on it. As far as the whole record, like you said, I listened to it today. I love side 1 better than I do side 2, and we'll talk about that later. But no, Got to Choose. What a great way to start this thing. And I think too, Ace's solos on all these songs, every one of these songs, are average at best. He plays them better live, like on the live one. Mm-hmm. I think these here second album out the door, they're a little slot. He refined them a lot better in a live situation. Kiss is just a better live band.
You also have to understand that half the songs on this album he played every night while they were on tour.
Sure.
So by the time they put Alive together,
exactly. So then
the muscle memory was there.
Well, that and they morphed into they added because there's some of the stuff it's different than the actual things, but it's good. They're good, solid songs though. So anyway, all right, number 2, Parasite.
That's my favorite song on the album.
I think it's a lot of people's favorite song. I've been playing that
actually
forever.
I can kind of one up you on that one because that's my favorite song, period.
Well, it's not my favorite Kiss song, but it's in the top 10 easily.
Yeah,
good song. I mean, great tune. It's kind of hard to pick on this record. There's a lot of good stuff. There's one song I really don't care for.
Well, I've seen Ace do this song live, and I know it took him all the way to Love Gun before he was comfortable recording vocals on it.
Right.
And I'm kind of glad that he didn't sing the song on this album, because I probably wouldn't have liked it as much.
Gene sounds great singing it. I like the power of Gene's voice.
Yeah,
I mean, it is Ace's song.
We've all seen the Winterland performance.
Oh my God, it's just
that was fire.
Yeah, exactly. And Gene's voice is just so strong and just comes out. I mean, it works really well.
Yeah. Jumping off of this album, but sticking with this song. I remember sometime during the Revenge tour, or maybe when they were doing the 94 shows down in South America, they kind of sang Parasite, as they used to share vocals with it.
Sure.
Both Gene and Paul were singing, and I seem to remember Gene and Paul singing that together again, like they did in the old days. And I thought that was really cool.
It's cool.
Anytime they sing together like that, I think there was some magic going on there. I always like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's one of those things. And just to backtrack with these two songs starting out, I don't think the album, of course, it's got that muddy kind of sound, but you couldn't record those drums any worse. I'm serious. I mean, they sound like fucking garbage cans and fucking buckets. I mean, it's just.
Where do you think Lars Ulrich learned how to play Saint Anger?
I guarantee it. I mean, it's just.
No.
I mean, they're just. I mean, and the cymbals then are just got these. I mean, they just fucking rip through the. I mean, they're just. I don't know.
I think I don't want to call it poor production, because I don't think it happened during production. Maybe something happened after production, maybe in the mastering or something. But the darkness of this album overall, for me, is part of the charm. Because I got that record, or that 8-track, with no expectations. I couldn't have told you a single song off of that. I just saw that it was a Kiss record, or I was like, I gotta have it.
Right.
So when I put it in the tape deck and played it in the car, it sounded dirty and muddy and like shit. And I figured, well, this 8-track came out in 1974, and this is 1987 now, so it's seen better days. But then I got it on CD, and I'm like, oh, I guess I was wrong there.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, I'd love to hear this song. I'd love to hear this whole album played just like it's played here, but just recorded better. You know what I'm saying? And I bet it would just be phenomenal. I really don't think it would lose its charm. I may be
about
wrong
them going in and re-recording everything.
No, I'm just saying, if you could magically kind of take the old tapes and somehow enhance, I don't know what you could do.
Well, there are no old tapes to enhance. That's why it's never had
that's what I'm saying.
Remix or remaster.
Right. But if you could do that, I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, that would
redone. It would be phenomenal. I would
probably still prefer the old way, because that's the way I'm used to hearing it.
True.
Okay. I am also not one of those audiophile snob kind of guys, and I don't mean that as an insult.
No.
Because I respect the fact that you guys like the high fidelity and all of that stuff, but I'm not that guy.
Gotcha. All right. Number 3, Going Blind. Like I said, this was a leftover from the days with Steve Cornell. What do you guys think?
That really showcases Gene's bass playing.
I was waiting for somebody else to say
yep.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting, because you really get hit pretty good with Got to Choosing Parasite, and Going Blind is kind of
that
slows it down a little bit.
But it's good placement for it. This is one of those songs that really never did a lot for me until Unplugged. Maybe because it was played better. One of the funny things that I thought about when they did this on Unplugged, and at the time, when we went to those conventions in Nashville and all of that stuff, I had never heard any of the demos. I didn't even know you could get hold of demos back then.
Right.
But I always thought it was weird that Gene was singing the lyrics, you know, the land beneath the sea. That's the way the song was originally written, you know.
Right.
So when you hear the demos, that's the way the lyrics were original, you know, and then they put it on the record and they changed it. I don't know why they did that.
That's odd.
That's weird.
I just, you know, that first as it opens up, you know, and Gene's just that bass line at the first 20 seconds of that song is fucking. And I tell you what, that's one thing I like about these early albums, especially not only this album, but then when you get into you know, further on in the other albums, I like Gene's playing. I mean, Gene's bass in those songs are just fantastic. I just love, of course, you know, Parasite is is ace and it follows the guitar, but there's a lot of songs on here. Gene's just playing, even like Let Me Go Rock and Roll, which is a simple, basically just a rock, blues rock song. You know, listen to the bass line in it. It's just really good. And that's like with Dress to Kill. You know, that's where I think Dress to Kill is where he really shined. I mean, that was the next record coming up. But you know, Gene's not a slouch. Dude could play bass. I mean, big time.
You can play guitar too.
Oh yeah, exactly. All right. So, of course, in the end, you got the lyrics that we've talked about the lyrics before. It's a little weird, but that's wasn't Steve Cornell too? Didn't he get busted for some kind of? Didn't he get?
I don't know.
I thought he got
really
busted for child porn.
Pay
or
a whole lot of
shit.
attention to it, but I don't think anything ever. I don't know what materialized from that.
Probably nothing. That's why you didn't hear anything about it.
Probably not. But anyway. Okay, so next we got the actually the track that's the name of the album, the title track. Hotter Than Hell, written by Stanley and lead vocals by Stanley. So what do you think, boys?
Great song. I like, you know, it seems I remember Paul Stanley saying that this was his version of All Right Now by Free. Right. You know, because it was, you know, the Free version was this girl's trying to trap this guy, and then the Hotter Than Hell, you know,
right,
he wants to be with this girl, but she's already married or something. I'm not exactly sure what story Paul told, but yeah, I thought the storytelling in the song was good.
Right.
You know, it's kind of interesting about this entire record, and Hotter Than Hell's one of the songs too. I really like the vocals on this record. Right. I thought they sounded really good. Right. Now production is what it is, but sure. I mean, they were young but I just thought the vocals really sounded really good.
Yeah, I do
on the whole record, but specifically on Hotter Than Hell and definitely on the next song too. So
yeah. Hotter Than Hell was actually the first Kiss song I ever heard, but I heard the live version of it. But when I walked into my friend's kitchen that day, first time I ever heard Kiss, he was playing Hotter Than Hell off the live. I'm like, what is that? But no, I always liked that song, and like I said, I like the story behind it. I like the story that it tells. It's rock and roll. I mean, that's what it's all about. And but no, I think unlike you, I think the vocals are really good on that. It's just a solid song, and it's been a staple. I mean, it's been a staple for a long time. That's same way with Kiss, original Kiss album and this album. And you got almost the whole show on these two albums. I mean, the staples come from these albums.
On one of those 94, 95, when they started picking these songs back up, the line, I had to get on the case.
Right.
A lot of times Paul would sing it. She had to sit on my face. But in one of those bootlegs that I had a long time ago, it said I had to sit on her face. And I'm like, dude, that's rude.
Nobody wants that butt hair in your face. You don't want that. Wow. All right. There we go. Hotter Than Hell. Number 5, last track on the side 1. Let Me Go Rock and Roll, another staple from the Alive album, and still to this day still plays, in concert. Thoughts, boys?
I like this song. I like the studio version. Dennis is whispering to himself.
No, I just found I keep hitting something and I lose you guys.
Well,
I know
hitting something.
I know. I got it. I got it fixed. I'm back. You're back up.
I like the studio version. The double platinum version sounds a little bit better. The Alive version kills.
Yeah, I agree.
The Alive version to me is the ultimate version. The versions that they did when they put the makeup back on, when they, by the time they were doing the Psycho Circus and the farewell tour, they were so slow and plotting. They made the version on Hotter Than Hell sound crisp and clean.
For me, this is one of my favorite Kiss songs. I just love, I love the vocals in the song. And we were talking about that a second ago when I mentioned it. It's just the drive of the song and the tempo, and I just think it's cool. And I love it when they do it live.
Yeah, I do.
You've all seen the Cobo Hall 76, I believe it is, when they're starting the song.
And Gene's singing her own fucking verse.
Because he starts out with like Rock and Roll All Night, then jumps into a different song. And you see his eyes get real big and he cuts over looking at Paul's like, where the fuck are we?
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite Gene moments.
Yeah. He's been known to do that. No, I'm like you. I like this song. I'm like you. I'd rather if I'm going to hear this song, I want to hear it on live. I think that's the ultimate version of it that you can get. And the thing is, it's the same way with rock and roll all night. A lot of these songs are they're just better live. Kiss is a better band playing live. I've always thought that. Well,
hence the proof of when the live came out, even though it was canned,
but it's still
that's what sent them into
right.
Superstar.
And for a band that's so bombastic and talked about how loud they were and how these albums, these first three, you could understand why it took Alive for them to get the following that they had. Unless you've seen them alive, if you hear this album here and you go, those drums sound like shit. Those guys ain't that loud. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
It took Alive.
No, I totally agree.
It took Alive to do that, and then of course you get Destroyer come out, and then they got got Ezrin in there and got a right studio, expensive, and then boom, there's the sound. That's what we want right there, So it took Alive to make these three records come alive. It really did. I mean, yeah, I'm seriously, it did. I mean, but you had to, if you had never seen them live, but there was thousands of people who had seen them live going, dude, I've seen them. They sound great live. So anyway, but yeah, what a great song. All right, we're ready to flip this baby over. Not to my favorite side, but we're gonna talk about this. So the first song on the second side is "All the Way" by Mr. Simmons. Go ahead,
Bill. I've been jumping in here and stepping on.
No, toes. I don't know. To be honest with you, this song is one that it's okay. No, not a skipper, but just not one that I don't know, doesn't grab me. Next one grabs me more.
Oh yeah.
All the Way is my second favorite song on this album.
Sorry, buddy.
Really? Are you serious?
You don't have to apologize. I just
Are you serious?
Those faces. I'm dead serious. I fucking love.
Wow, I thought you were joking.
No, I love this song. One of these days I'm going to record it.
To me, I mean, I bought Gene Simmons' vault, and Gene, there's some really good gems in that vault. I mean, there's some great demos.
Probably better than what's on this record.
But this All the Way just reminds me of one of those other, like one of the 30 demos that are just songs. They're just songs. Yeah, good job, Gene. You wrote another song now. Write a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's not awful. It's just, and I don't like that cowbell is kind of dorky, and I don't like the way it stops and starts. I think when it gets into the chorus, it's okay. It's the verse part that kind of I just don't get it. And to come off the first side with such good songs, I don't think this is a good opener. I really don't. For me, so
that's fair. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Now I did get to see they did this song on the Rock the Nation tour, and I saw them do it in Nashville.
No kidding.
when
Wow, I
they
didn't
did the
know they
Rock
did.
the Nation tour, they would do.
Yeah, they did a lot
Yeah,
of stuff. They
they
pulled
do
all kinds of
this
stuff
song
out.
on 2 or 3 shows, and then they get to 2 or 3 shows down the road. They drop that one and they pick something else up. Yeah,
I didn't know they ever
the
played this
Rock the
song
Nation
live.
tour was
Wow.
actually when they had those instant live CDs,
Right.
they were doing all kinds of shit.
Okay,
they may have done a song and butchered it pretty bad, but by God, they got up there and they did it.
Okay, I'll have to turn in my Kiss card, but it's full. Refresh my memory. So that tour, the Rock Nation tour, who was playing in that? Was that now
Tommy
Eric
and
Singer?
Eric.
Tommy and Eric.
Okay, so Tom and Eric. So they had the ability to do that. Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. That's why I didn't know. I actually I did not see them after the reunion or the farewell tour. I never saw them again till the next farewell tour. I honestly I missed all those tours. Seriously, I didn't.
The second farewell tour.
They never. Well, number one, they never came back to Evansville after that farewell. They did the Lost Cities farewell tour.
Lost Cities tour, yeah,
and that was it. So after that, I wasn't going to travel. It was always in midweek, and I kind of lost. And then of course, I don't want to go see him play anything off Sonic Boom or Monster. I thought both those albums fucking sucked balls, big donkey balls. So I kind of lost. And then it wasn't until now when they got this, the farewell tour. That's when I was like, okay, now I'm gonna go see him again. Yeah, I just lost all interest in that shit. So anyway,
Yeah, you've told us that once or twice.
Again. So anyway, I lost interest twice.
6 years. I heard it for
But
6.
But I seen him
long
4
years.
times. 4 times on this. I said I wasn't going to go at all, and I went 4 times. All right. So we're going to get back into what should have been the beginning of side 2. Should have been the opener.
Agree with that.
They would have grabbed you by the num nums. You've been like, okay. Anyway, watching you. This is when Gene can write a song, and it's a good song.
The riff in this song is pretty badass.
And like I said, this is another one of those ones at Winterland. You watch that in that black and white. It is fucking. It gives me a chill every time I see it. It is, to me, this is probably after Parasite. This is my second favorite Kiss song of all.
That's definitely Gene.
That is fucking
just that is
I mean,
that video that is just.
I'm watching you. I mean,
that is just
the demon is watching you
to the core.
This would be my number 3 song on this album.
Wow. Yeah, it's a fantastic song. So
I'm a Gene guy on this album.
All of you haters who think I should like this above All the Way, suck it.
Well, I think I'm not gonna argue with you on that one, but I think that Watching You should have opened the second side and then put All the Way in.
What if Watching You opened the record?
I would have been happy too. Got to choose on the second side. That would split up the.
I'm going to disagree with you there, because I think if you started out with the Watching You riff on side 1 and then flipped it over,
right?
Maybe if I heard it that way first, I would feel differently.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I think that if you put Got to Choose on side 2 now, I would feel the same way that you feel about All the Way opening side 2. It wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well,
All
the Way and Got to Choose are way. There's those songs are. It's like
right.
They're a complete different songs.
The best thing about us having opinions is they all suck.
Exactly.
One of them's right.
No, I say, like I said before, love the chorus. I just think the verses are bad. Okay. Yep. We all agree that Watching You is a badass song. So we're gonna go from there. All right. So we're gonna come up to the next one. It was Mainline, which is a Stanley written song, but he lets Peter sing it. Well, what's your thoughts on Mainline?
Peter kept threatening to quit the band if he didn't get to sing. So.
He should write something.
He wrote a bunch of shit and they rejected it all.
Well, because he wrote shit.
I said he wrote a bunch of shit.
You got to write a good song.
Because he wrote stuff for a 50s band.
Right. No,
Chelsea or whatever.
I love the song Mainline. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. It was nice. It was interesting hearing a different voice.
Right. Well, something else that's interesting to me about it is, for the longest time, I didn't realize that Paul had written a song I always assumed that whoever sang the song was the one that
Mhm.
wrote it.
Yeah.
You know, back in
I
my
was always
young,
one of the
naive
people.
days.
Well, I
Back
always,
in the-
well, and I would have looked at the record and go, whoever wrote it, that's who, I would just, like you said, whoever the writer, whoever got the credit, that was who sang it,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't right, God of Thunder, that's Paul Stanley, Anyway, I would like to heard, I would have liked to heard, I would like to have heard Mainline sung by Stanley just to see, kind of give it a,
Have you ever heard him do Black Diamond?
what's that? No, I have not.
Yeah, because he wrote that one as well.
I heard him do God of Thunder, and it's fucking horrible. That is too fast.
The disco version.
Yeah, that's a fucking terrible version. But it'd been interesting to hear him singing that. But no, Peter's got a great voice. The thing is, I always liked Peter's voice. It's got that it's so different from any of the other voices in the band, and it gives them that little bit of edge. So I always liked that, and I always liked With Nothing to Lose. I always liked that too, because you had Gene singing this stuff, and then all of a sudden you got Peter coming in on the chorus singing this stuff, and he's got that kind of gravelly, I don't know, Bob Seger-ish, what I'm saying? It's just different. It's just different voice. So no, it's a decent song. Really?
I already agreed with you about 3 times.
Okay, I didn't know if you were. All right, so we talked about this a little bit earlier, but Coming Home is next, second to the last song on the album. It's a Fraley Stanley writer, co-write song, and then Stanley was singing it. Like I said earlier, it's only 2 minutes and 37 seconds. It's a very short song on here.
About as long as the Van Halen album.
Exactly. I like I said, I had never really heard this song until we went to the conventions. I mean, I was like, it was very new to me. I'm like you, I like it better in the convention and the acoustic version than I do in this. It's just kind of a beboppy kind of song. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me on this album, but it is a decent song when it's done acoustically, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm familiar with the song, and it never really jumped out at me listening to the album back in the day. But when they performed it, especially by the time they got to MTV Unplugged, they had it down. And they opened the show with that, and I was like, ah, damn. I think my wife was kind of surprised how excited I was. I'm like, oh, they never play that song. Oh my God.
You mean when they actually truly played stuff that they don't normally play?
Yeah.
Back in the days.
Back in the day. Well, they had to do what we said because they were broke.
That's true. That's true.
That's
always true.
That's always the joke I tell. I don't know what their financial.
Well, I think you're right. If you read Chris Lintz's book,
I would think. Well, just to make that almost a true statement, compared to what they have now, they were broke.
Yeah.
At that point,
they were down to their last million.
They're a lot richer now than they were back then. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't as rich as they were in '77. How's that? So
something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Bill, what do you think about Coming Home?
I was going to say the same thing you guys are. I don't even know that I realized this song existed until I heard it open on Unplugged.
Really? You're just like me then. Ooh. Okay. Wow.
Because I didn't have Hotter Than Hell until
me either. Until
so I mean I knew the other songs that were popular songs, but
sure.
I mean that were
kind of below the
records and stuff like that.
This one was just kind of below the radar. It just never was.
Just not some. But man, on Unplugged, it's like that whole record is just freaking killer. That's peak moments right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna finish this off with a Fraley song, actually. Fraley only written song, and then we've got Peter Criss singing it, and of course it's Strange Ways.
It's my number 4.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Peter was perfect fit for that song.
I like that song so much I actually recorded it with one of my old bands.
Right. I honestly really don't care for that song. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's just my personal opinion. I just can't.
I like the Christopher Williams version, actually.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when they played it up there. I really did. But it's just, it doesn't, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't fit this. It's so far out from the album. It's just different. It's not even a Kiss song.
It kind of feels like it was thrown on at the last minute.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't jive with the rest of the album, and it really doesn't jive with any other Kiss album. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of an odd, it's like a brown egg in a white basket. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit. I mean, it just.
Well, where does that shit come from?
That was a polite way of saying a turd in a punch bowl.
I could say that. No, I mean,
where do you come up with that from?
It's just different. I mean, it's just different.
He's from rural southern Indiana.
I am.
Hail City, son bitches.
It's like getting a dual yolked egg in my head.
Well, see, that is something when it comes to albums. Right. I was never one that felt a song, it doesn't jive with an album or whatever. I'm just like, I got 10 songs.
Right? Yeah, I don't know that I really did that. Same thing. I don't know that I really listened to it and went, what is that doing on there? Or I'm like, oh, got 10. Like, I got 10 songs. I don't care for that one, but I don't think I ever went. Why would?
If I had this album on, I think after coming home, I would, as soon as that hit, I'd take it off. I would skip it.
Pop it out.
So after you get through coming home, you're just done. I'm
done.
Is that what you're saying?
I came home. I'm done. Going to sleep.
Nap time.
Nap time. I gotta get me a little something to eat.
All right. I noticed something else on this record. By the way, at the bottom of it, it says.
Nope.
Hey.
I'm trying to read this in Japanese.
It says Polygram Records.
Okay.
So this has got to be a reissue of some type.
Yeah.
Okay. So
because
mine
otherwise it would not
have come out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. So mine actually is a universe. It's 2014 Island Jam or Island Def Jam Music Group, distributed by Universal.
Bought off of.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They bought the catalog from Mercury.
But
so that's new then.
But this is distributed by Universal Music Distribution. So it's actually, and then on the bottom it says here kissonline.com and then Universal Music thing, but it also has a Mercury Music tag at the bottom also. Isn't
it's interesting. This says 1974 Polygram Records is what it says on the bottom. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? All right.
Still got the Kiss mail box 5272 Grand Central Station. Do you think it still goes there?
Probably.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Anyway, so yeah, but it was nice to. I actually hadn't sit and listened to this album for a long time, and so I listened to it today. I was going to listen to it on my radio when I got home, and the time I got home, Max was still sleeping, so I couldn't crank it. And I listened to it on the way, actually at lunch today, and I listened to it on the way home. And so I listened to it twice on Spotify, and it's like I can't take any more of those.
I'm pretty sure in that sentence right there, you just listened to it 14 times. I'm just not sure where.
Listen to it twice. Well, it's only 32 minutes? It's all right. Something like that. But anyway, yeah, Casablanca released in 74 and Mercury released it in 97. That was a release history. And then, of course, it was. So anyway, there you go. All right.
Okay.
So that was fun. I always like talking about it. We got to think of we got to find out the next anniversary. We haven't done all the Kiss albums. We still got a few more to go through.
Yeah, we'll hear them all.
We're going to do Sonic Boom and Monster next.
Oh, fuck. Can Lisa make me that shirt? Can Lisa make me that shirt beforehand? I like that. Actually, I like that song.
I do like that song.
That's actually
one is on Cycle Circus.
That's on Cycle Circus.
I know. It's like either one of them.
When Max was little and we could come from home from daycare, he wanted to hear that song every day. So we listened to that song every day.
What is it?
What's off Cycle Circus?
Noah's favorite song is off of one of those.
Yeah, that was.
Is it All for the Glory?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. At least it wasn't Raise Your Glass or I just want
Raise Your Glass isn't too bad.
I just want to I just want it or whatever.
All right, I think we're probably about done.
All
here.
right.
We are way overdue.
Alan, you want to take us out of here, brother?
No, but I will.
All right. Take us
Visit
out of here.
agesofrock.com. Check out our social media and past episodes. And until next time, peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.